Happy New Year, everybody. This is my first video for 2015, so I figured I'd share with you all of my favorites from 2014. So if you are interested in knowing what I've been loving all last year, then keep on watching. So first I'm going to start off with foundations and BB creams, CC creams, things like that. This is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream, and this is completely full coverage. A lot of people did not like this CC cream, and I think it's because they didn't apply it correctly. I saw quite a few videos of people applying this with a sponge or a brush. Big no-no for a cream. Anything that you want to sort of absorb into your skin, because this is hydrating and anti-aging, you want that to kind of absorb into your skin. You don't use a sponge or a brush. You use your fingers. So your fingers warm it up and spread it out really, really well. It has a pump, which is pretty cool. I did not know it had a pump, but it's kind of a bonus. Still gets a little messy because you're using your fingers, but I prefer using this over using foundation every day. This gives you a really good amount of coverage. If you have a lot of acne scarring and you really just feel like you need to put on a little something every day, this is probably your quickest option. This and powder, mascara, lip gloss, you're out the door. But I really, really love this. My mom tried this. She did not like it. I think it's just because the color was a little bit off. That's the downside to this. There's only 3 colors, a light, a medium, and a like a deep, not even quite dark. I don't know. You'd have to see it in the store, but I think they could definitely add at least 2 or 3 more colors to accommodate for other people. This is really light on me. I actually have it on today, but I always just bronze my skin up and make it work. But I really love this, and I'm going to continue to use this and repurchase it as soon as I'm out. But this stuff is amazing. Plus it has SPF 50. Usually when I have something with an SPF that high, my skin just freaks out on me. This is just, it's wonderful. So my next foundation is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid with SPF 15. I have this in shade NC42. That's the shade I use for all of my MAC foundations. This has been a really nice foundation for my skin. I used the Pro Longwear foundation all last year, loved it, but I did notice that it kind of settled in my fine lines, it cracked up a bit, and it was a little too dry for me. I noticed that my skin was a lot drier during the second half of this year. So when I picked this up, this just had a little bit more moisture to it, a little bit more give and flexibility on my skin. So if you've tried the Pro Longwear and you feel like it was a little too dry and it just cracked up too much on your skin, try the Fix Fluid. It does hold up just as well, but it does give your skin a little bit more, you know, it has a little bit more give for your skin. And it still has the same coverage, same color tone and everything. I always say MAC foundations are great for their color tones because us yellow girls have trouble finding the right foundation without looking red or orange. So my next foundation is the NARS Sheer Glow, and this is in medium dark 2 Tahoe. I've been using the same shade in this foundation since I first picked up my first bottle. That's what I love about this. No matter how tan or how pale I am, I can use the same shade. It just always works really well for me. This is my go-to foundation when my skin looks horrible, when my skin looks great, when I don't know what to do with my face. This is what I go to because I know it's always going to look really, really good. Sheer Glow does not mean sheer, and it does not mean super oily. It just means it has like a glow from within, and sheer is not the coverage at all. It is very full coverage. This covers acne scars and everything really, really well. It covers redness really well. So I don't know, I feel like the name is a little deceiving and it probably wards off a lot of people. But ever since I picked this up a couple years ago, I haven't stopped using it, and this has just been my ride or die, and I have to have this in my collection. If there's one foundation that I have to have, it's going to be this over anything else. For primers, I only have one that I'm going to mention because this is the only one that I go to faithfully. I might try others in between, but this is pretty much what I use all the time. This is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless Skin Smoothing Face Primer. I am curious to try some of their other face primers, but I just love this one so much because I've had quite a rough time with my skin this year. I feel like the little texture bumps, whether it's like the little bumps on the forehead and between the eyebrows or on the skin, this just smooths everything out. When I put this under any foundation, it gives you such a nice airbrushed look. It really blurs out the imperfections. I don't know what it is. I guess there's maybe little granules inside of it that just smooths out your face. So I really, really like this for dry skin, for oily skin. It just works well for anything because my skin has been super oily and it's been super dry, and it's just worked all the way through. I actually had this in some videos that I did way back in college and still love this stuff. So this is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless. So next is concealers. I have drugstore and high-end options. The first is the Maybelline New York Fit Me Concealer in medium, number 25. I really love this for highlighting, not necessarily for under my eyes, not for blemishes either, because I just feel like this moves a little bit, but I don't know, I really like this. Some people really like using it under their eyes. I don't, just because of the way my eyes, I guess, wrinkle a little bit, because I mean that's something you really just can't stop. I smile a whole lot, so that's a good thing. But I really like this for highlighting down my nose, a little bit on my forehead, on the cheekbones, the chin, the cupid's bow, just everywhere that you highlight. I really like this. I like this specific color as well. It's really, really nice. But some people really like this under their eyes. And this is just an overall really, really nice drugstore concealer. It's really moisturizing. And this is something that I'm probably going to continue to buy. But I feel like it's never going to run out. So I'm just going to have to wait till it goes bad, I guess. For high-end concealer, I use the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer under my eyes. This is in NW30. I just changed the color that I use under my eyes this year, and I am really, really enjoying this different color. It gives a little bit of a different look, but I really do like this for under my eyes because I smile a lot. I get the little creasage, but I just don't like my concealer setting in the creases. I don't mind that my eyes crease a little bit. It's just I don't like my concealer to crease. But this is the only thing that I find really works for if you have like just those under eye wrinkles. You still have to set it, but this is completely set once you set it. It's not like it's gonna bunch up. And another thing that I like for my blemishes is the MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC42. This is another thing I love about just MAC's brand in general. They have everything so organized. If you try to buy a concealer, a blemish concealer and a foundation in another brand, it's not going to be that simple because their colors are not, they're not named the same thing. Whereas if you shop at MAC, you get an NC42 in your blemish concealer, you get an NC42 in your foundation. Anyways, I love this concealer for my blemishes. It's moisturizing. It does have SPF, so if you're putting this over say a big pimple that you have acne treatment on, that's perfect because you actually have to use an SPF over acne treatment if you're going to be in the sun anyways. So next I have one setting powder. This is the only setting powder that I can say I use faithfully. This is the Rimmel London Stay Matte Long Lasting Pressed Powder in translucent. You guys have seen me use this probably since I started my channel. This is the only translucent powder that I know I'm gonna always buy. So this is something I could just buy in bulk if it was sold in bulk. This is just, I don't know, it's really good. It does what it needs to do, and I don't know, it's pretty cheap too. So there's only one bronzer that really stood out for me this year, and that's the NARS Casino bronzer. I am a little darker than your average Laguna wearing girl, so I really appreciated that they have this deeper color. And what I really like is it has a little bit of shimmer to it, but it's not too much. You can still use this to contour. It might look a little shimmery in the camera, but it's really not that much. I can use this to contour. I can use this just to do an olive or bronze with a light hand. I really, really enjoy this. Even as an eyeshadow, a nice crease color. So for blushes, I have one drugstore option and a high-end blush that I've just been obsessed with all year and probably some of last year too. This is the MAC Gingerly Sheer Tone Blush. This is just one of those blushes that you can pick up and put on with anything. It doesn't matter how bold your look is, how toned down your look is. This just goes with anything. You can really build it up or sheer it out. It's just like a nice muted peach. It's not super orangey peach or super pinky peach. This is just the perfect mid-tone peachy look. So I really, really love this. And I encourage you guys to check this out. I don't think a lot of people talk about MAC Gingerly in specific. It's usually peach or something like that. MAC Peaches, or what's that other one? I don't know, there's a couple that are really popular, but this is just lovely. If you are not used to wearing blushes, this is probably a really good starter blush. So for the drugstore blush, this is the Wet n Wild Heather Silk Blush. I love this. This is just so pretty. This has the best contrast against my skin tone. I guess because my skin is so yellow and this has such a nice cool bubblegum pink feel to it that it really just pops on my cheeks. So I really, really like this, and warmer toned gals, you would really, really love this as well. I used to really like the Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink, but this has just done it for me this year. I really, really like this blush. For luminizer, I really like the Becca Opal. This is pretty much the only luminizer I go to. I do have a drawer full of them, but this is the only one that I really, really like at this point. I guess like once you try something really good, you kind of compare it to everything else you have. I really did enjoy the Marc Jacobs Light Show. I still have that one. I just kind of put it on the back burner. It's really nice for if you have a really toned down look and you just want a little bit of a glow, but I mean, look at this. I mean, how could you pass up on something like this? I mean, I know you guys have heard people sing praises of this stuff all year, but oh, come on. How could you not? So, and this is another one that looks really, really good with anything, any bronzer, any skin tone. Just a really, really nice champagne glow. For my brows, I have pretty much used this all year. I think I caught on to this Brow Wiz probably midway through the year, but this clear brow gel has just done it for me. This is the only brow gel I'm probably ever going to use on my brows if I ever use a gel. And I've gotten the Dip Brow Pomade. I don't really like it enough to use it every day. I do feel like it's a little heavy duty. It's not something that I really feel like doing every day because you got to dip in the brush and do the whole, I don't know. I just feel like it's a bit much. It's nice for a night out, but not for every day. I just absolutely love these two though. If you have not tried the Brow Wiz or the Clear Brow Gel, it's so worth it. The colors, I just feel like these are the best colors of brow pencils that I found in a long time. Drugstore ones just really don't compare once you try this, because this really matches hair colors a lot better than anything that I've found. This is in soft brown, and it looks like this. And the spoolie on this bad boy is amazing. This really does a good job of really getting in there and wiggling those hairs around and getting them in place. And this just keeps them in place really nicely, this brow gel. And this is just a regular old spoolie. But I love these together. I love them separate. It's just, these are really, really good. So for eyeliners, I have a drugstore and high-end. And the high-end is Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. This is a liner pen. I've talked about this before. This stuff is amazing. It hardly ever dries out. I've been having this one for quite a while. Still really pigmented, still going strong. The tip is still really nice and wet. And I mean, you just shake this thing around, and I think it's something with the bouncy cap that kind of helps keep the sponge tip applicator really nice and moist. But I really, really like this. It'll last you up to 6 months sanitarily. But that's really, really good for an eyeliner. And I feel like there's definitely enough product in here to last you for 6 months if you use it every day. The thing I also like about this stuff is that it is waterproof. It's not quite dry yet, so I can't really show you guys, but I'll show you guys after I show you this next eyeliner. I really enjoyed using this Rimmel London Glam Eyes Professional liquid liner this year. I really like it. This is a brush tip applicator, which is a little out of my norm. I've used brush tip before and enjoyed it, but I've been on sponge tips, you know, for so long that going back to brush tip was really refreshing, and it's really nice because it's really sharp, and I also like how opaque and how thick and creamy this texture of liner is. It's just, I don't know, it's really nice. I don't think you guys will even be able to tell because I just kind of swished it around, but I love this stuff. Definitely give this a try. If you like a really nice sharp point for your wing and you have trouble getting that with a sponge tip applicator, this brush is so teeny you can get the finest point. For that Stay All Day Stila liner, that's what the squiggly line is, and of course it goes nowhere. Waterproof. Awesome. So for lip products, I have these Nivea Kiss of Smoothness and Kiss of Olive Oil and Lemon lip balms. And this one has SPF. I like to keep this one in my purse for when I'm on the go, when I'm on the road. Even when you're driving and you think you're not getting that many sun rays, your lips can still get super chapped. So this has SPF 15, and this will help protect your lips from getting super dried out. This Kiss of Olive Oil and Lemon, I like to keep this at my vanity just to put over my lips before I apply any lip products, because you don't want to apply lip products to dry, nasty lips. So my favorite lip combo of the year, I happen to like these products separately, but I love them together. This is the MAC Cream Sheen and Modesty, and it looks like this. And I'll swatch it in a little bit. And Rimmel London 3D Stay Glossy in, let's see, Back Row Smooch. And it has a little bit of a blue shine to it. So this is Modesty, and this is Back Row Smooch. And I just feel like this is so pretty. Like, together they just look amazing. I really do like wearing this lip gloss to make my teeth look a little bit brighter. I've heard that using, you know, blue undertones usually whiten up any look, but I mean, this is just proof right here. So last and final category is eyeshadows, and I had a hard time picking these, but then I started thinking about it. What have I really used like almost all year? So this MAC Uninterrupted Pro Longwear eyeshadow was definitely just top of my list. This is my go-to transition eyeshadow. I just love this anytime. I can contour my nose with this. I can bronze my face with this. I can do anything with this eyeshadow, but I really just love using this for any eye look. I just feel like this is perfect for me. I just really like it. A lot of people are catching on to this color. I'm happy that everybody's really liking this because I've always liked this, and I just feel like it's just so good. I don't know, like when I saw this, I just felt like I've never seen anything like this. So another eyeshadow that people really like, and I really just like it for those days where I really don't know what to do with my eyeshadow, or I just want to do a little bit of eyeshadow or something quick. This is one of my go-tos. This is All That Glitters. I really like this. This kind of looks like opal. If you look at it, it really does look like opal. You guys know my go-to brow highlight this year has been MAC Blank Type. That's up here.
I have this one eyeshadow that's really like not sticking in there, and I'm getting eyeshadow all over my hands.
Alright, this is Blank Type. What I like about this is not stark white. It has a little bit of a yellowy warm tone to it, so it doesn't look super super crazy under your brows. It just looks really nice and warmed up. But I really like that. I've been using that all year faithfully. I've used some dupes in my videos just to kind of switch it up a little bit, but that is always going to be my go-to. And for palettes, I looked through all of my palettes, and this palette, I did get it towards the end of the year, but I have to say this is the best palette discovery of the year. I mean, the brand, I'm still just in shock with how wonderful these palettes are and how cheap they are. The Morphe eyeshadow palette, this is the matte palette, which I really like this one better than the shimmery one because I feel like I get a lot more use out of the matte shadows. But I do like using the shimmery ones. I prefer matte over anything. But I just feel like that's just the best bang for your buck. But not only that, it's just really, really good quality. Like, you don't find things that are so comparable to high-end brands, but yet so inexpensive. Like, oh my gosh. Look how super creamy that is. Like, let's just take a look at this. This is the matte black eyeshadow by Morphe. And let's swatch Carbon. Just so I can show you guys how super intense this is. Carbon, I really gotta get in there because this is a new one that I had to get. So this is Carbon, and this is the Morphe matte black eyeshadow, which that's the only thing that kind of sucks. They don't really have names for anything. So, I don't know. Morphe, if you're out there listening, get some names. Get creative. But this is MAC and this is Morphe. Now you tell me what looks better. I'm just saying. No shade. That is all for my makeup favorites. I know I said beauty favorites, but those are all my makeup favorites for 2014. I'm sorry I didn't include hair or anything like that. I switch that around so frequently. I don't really have any hardcore favorites for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment below your top favorite item of 2014, and maybe I'll try it out if I haven't already. What is that in my hair? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. My first... Like, I should probably spray Static Guard in my hair. For now, we're gonna get into my... What is this? It Cosmetic... Go eat. That's what happens when you get hungry. The cheekbones... Use a setting spray.
Calvin, you're so gross.
Maybelline Fit Me New York. What I really like about this lip gloss is that